What up, G? Are you ready for some spice?
Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, welcome everybody for another fun-filled, spicy episode. Uh, number 19. Yeah. Okay. How are you doing, Lindsay?
Great. I'm excited.
I feel like this topic is your jam.
It's obnoxiously my jam.
It really is. Like you get
Love this
super
topic.
hyped about it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I do too. Like I thoroughly enjoy it, but I think you may thoroughly enjoy it more than I do in some ways.
It's expression. It's the creative center. It's where I live. And as soon as I got over the preconceived notions of what it was and allowed myself to find out what it actually is, then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is so
Yeah.
natural and expansive.
Uh-huh. And healing and sacred and yeah, so many things. Oh, I love that. Like I can feel the layers as you
Right,
like talk about that.
right.
Yeah. Well, shall we name it or should we keep like being ambiguous about it?
Well, this is a throwback to what, episode two. So if you know, you know. And if you don't know, go back and listen to it. But we're going to be talking about vertical tacos and some jalapeno sausage.
Great introduction. And in like celebration of this conversation, Lindsay was so great in getting me the most perfect birthday card ever. And this is what it is. It's a taco because I love tacos. And in the card it even says because dot 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 tacos. I love that so much. So thank you for that, Lindsay.
Most welcome.
Okay, let's get into it. Where
Great.
do you want to start?
Okay, so somewhere along the week, you and I texting back and forth in the many text messages that we send each other, the topic of conversation came up regarding sexual awakening.
Yes.
And you just now, a few moments ago, asked me what sexual awakening is to me.
Mhm.
Um, so let's start there. What is a sexual awakening to you?
Oh, well, for context, the reason why you said that, I think, is because I sent you a voice memo that I was embodying the love for women
Yeah.
on such a deep level of like, I just want to shout it on top of a mountain. Like I love women. Um, and so we could start there. Sexual awakening to me, because I can only speak from my experience regarding that, is I think there's like the conditioning around it. I'll just start there. Is like sex is this physical act that is intimate and growing up you only share it with one person and you engage in this physical act of touching, right? Like feeling each other physically, but also like on an energetic level. But I wasn't super like I was aware of the energetic feelings that I would have in that context early on, but the way it's evolved is physical and then I when I had my awakening to being queer, that's when it shifted from like just physical to, oh my God, this is not just physical, this is emotional. I mean, it was emotional before, but it hit a depth of emotions and energetics, like the energetic exchange that is happening inside of the act of sex and not just sex, because when we say sexual awakening, it doesn't just mean sex too, right? Like there's so much more that's outside of the actual act of sex that is a part of sexual awakening. Like there's the engaging in like self-love sessions with yourself, like
Mhm.
really getting to know your own body and how what feels good versus what doesn't feel good. Like in the depth of that connecting to like safety within your body. Like if you're not feeling safe, then how are you supposed to have an orgasm? Or how are you supposed to like enjoy touch with
Yeah,
yourself or other people,
right.
right?
Mhm.
So to me, it's the sexual awakening has been this evolution of deconstructing what I learned growing up, which was from a Christian framework of you court somebody, you wait until you're married to have sex, and then you have sex after you're married. And there's a complexity for me because I suppressed my queerness and only engaged in that act with men for a certain amount of time, certain period of my life. And it never really felt fully satisfying.
Yeah,
It wasn't because of the physical act necessarily. It was because being with a man didn't reflect the love that lived inside of me.
right.
Being with a woman does. And so the mirror of being with a woman and seeing and expressing the love that is present inside of me and getting to experience that reflection of my own love and another person's love is incredibly fulfilling and satisfying for me.
Mhm.
And so it's evolved from this physical thing that that I learned that I needed to do with men. And, that in of itself was more about seeking approval of men rather than, is this really what I like to do? Is
Right,
this really what I enjoy?
right.
Versus now being with women is like, ooh, I really like all of this and all the different like intricacies of what it means to be with a woman who is a woman, right? So to sum that all up, sexual awakening to me is is the act of sex, not just sex, but even like foreplay and like after sex is are all of those things aligning in a way that aligns with me authentically and how I want to express my soul, my energy, my intellect, my body, like are all of those things aligning in a way that really satisfies the entirety of me.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's my thought process with that question.
yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why I get so energized by this conversation is because one, it's the creative center, and that is so expansive for me. And two, because I love being able to break wide open,
Yeah.
shifting the mindset of what sexual expression is and sexual empowerment is. Um, you know, when I first entered into this topic of conversation, I had such a limited mindset of what sex is because it was so narrow and outcome based. The drive is to climax and then you're done.
Right.
Like that is such a masculine way
Mhm.
of approaching the topic of conversation. I am not a masculine female. I am a feminine female. And when I first allowed myself to dive into this conversation, yeah, it was unwinding
Mhm.
how limited that perception is.
Mhm.
And when I began to realize that sexual empowerment and sexual expression is actually simply starting by how do I feel in my body? How is the tone echoed within my voice? How am I breathing? Am I allowing myself to experience pleasure from sipping on this tea, right? Like, am I
Yeah.
allowing myself to experience the pleasure of putting these pink sunglasses on? Like, experiencing life from a place of enjoyment and excitement is actually the basis and the strong foundation of sexual
Yeah.
empowerment. How am I walking?
That
How am
is
I moving?
so good. I love this.
Yeah. Right? Do you see why I'm like, I get so jived by it?
I love it because you're expanding out the definition of what it means to be a sexual being in the t entirety of your life, not just in the bedroom.
Exactly. Sex actually starts from the moment that it finishes.
Yep.
And then it's like a whole big journey of a build up and a slow, amazing crescendo. It,
Hmm.
it's how do you know you're a feminine female? Right here. Uh,
Yeah, you're the language
everywhere.
that you're using is yes.
Right? Like I remember first embodying my sexual energy simply by how I was moving about space. How was I walking into the room? And suddenly I was like, oh my gosh, how I'm moving, how I'm walking is
Yeah.
so different than how I used to, right? Like allowing myself to deconstruct the shame narrative of what sex is. Because I grew up in the same household of you don't talk about sex, you wait until you get married, and then once you're married, then you can have sex. But what is sex?
Right.
What does that mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I was in the position of creating a space and creating a lifestyle of solely advertising myself to a man,
Hmm.
right? Like in that relationship dynamic when I was married, I was still like hustling, trying to figure out like, okay, what is going to please him? Maybe that's exciting. Maybe that's good. But actually when I reversed that mindset and started to think, what is going to please me in this life? What
Mm.
is pleasurable for me in this life?
Yeah.
And that's not just about the sexual expression. It
Right.
really is like, what feels good in my body to drink? What feels good in my body to eat?
Yeah.
What supplements feel good in my body, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's so basic and it's so foundational, but it has been so transformational.
Hmm.
Um, and this is also why I say the brain injury was actually the Kickstarter for my sexual empowerment because it really did force me to get to know my body, not just in a sexual way, but also like in general,
Yeah.
totally just in general.
Yeah.
And then I created a course, oh my gosh, Journey Within Somatic Dance Movement, creating safety both with and for your body. And so much of that course really was sexual empowerment. And yeah, we talked about like making love to yourself and what that means.
Hmm.
And then we talked about incorporating a partner and how to really expand your sexual expression within partnership, which was so fun for me to talk to as a celibate female, like suddenly in my Kundalini awakening and having so much sexual energy that I didn't know what to do with it. Right. Like, oh my God. It was just like this roller coaster of just nonstop energy for like a year and a half. But it was a creative center expansion. And
Hmm.
so what comes with that, you know, Kundalini awakening starts from your root chakra and goes up the entire pillar of light and then comes back down. And so during that time of me teaching Journey Within, Journey from Within, and then alchemizing your journey, like all three courses were, I was in that second chakra expansion, like the creative center.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and I remember when we first started talking, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to experience a session with you." And we met, and I remember you telling me like, "All right, this is what you need to do." You gave me this homework. You're like, "I want you to like have your favorite dinner, favorite
Oh,
drink with that dinner, like really like basically a date with yourself, like
yeah.
truly like romancing yourself."
Yes.
And then you're like, I want you to go in the bedroom and have a self-love session for like 2 hours. And
Right.
don't like go for the orgasm right away. Like just like really take your time with yourself
Yeah.
and notice how like your own touch feels. If you need to beforehand, you need to like talk to your inner child and like create safety and have the inner child like go off. And what I imagined was go off like to the beach with like my grandpa and hang
Yeah.
out there. Like you don't need to be here, but like you're safe
Yeah.
and really feel the physical experience of safety. And then if your
Yeah.
body is open, go into it. And yeah, I remember that being like a really powerful experience. And typically, you're right, like we usually do learn like it's outcome oriented.
Right.
Orgasm.
Right.
Jump to the orgasm. Don't do anything else.
Right.
Instead to like build a practice of slowing down, checking in, creating safety, like
Yeah.
loving my body. It turned into this beautiful like experience of and I could when I do that, like I could feel my masculine energy like really like taking care of my feminine energy and this beautiful like inner union of those
Yeah.
entities. It's
Yeah.
powerful.
And when you're able to create that level of safety for yourself, but also simultaneously let go and breathe into it, you find that your orgasms are way more pleasurable,
Oh, yeah,
so much more powerful, but also like you become multi-orgasmic. Like
right.
that's the thing. Like when I started to like really truly let go of that, like, oh my God, I gotta climax, I gotta like, right? Like clearly my partner's not gonna experience like knowing that I'm having fun if I don't it's like
Right.
once you like fucking just like stop and
Yeah.
let it go
Yeah.
and breathe into the pleasure that is actually happening, like your orgasms are so much more powerful and so much more fulfilling.
Yes. That is so true. And use it like you're saying, using the breath has been so powerful. Like not just like shallow breathing, but actually like intentionally like taking deep breaths
Yeah.
or using the breath to um like when you have an orgasm, like imagining like the using the breath to pull it up your spine and then down your spine. And then I also learned a really cool thing with a partner, which is when they have an orgasm or you have an orgasm, you pull that energy and imagine it's going into their heart and then down into their lovely area. Either taco or jalapeno, whatever. Um, and then that being received to the partner and it like it almost creating this like figure eight flowing of like energies in and out of each other. And that's also a beautiful energetic way to connect with your partner when both people are intentionally like breathing and imagining pouring that energy into each other's hearts or whatever. That's also really powerful.
Yes. So sex is an energetic exchange.
Right.
You're merging your energy. You are absolutely merging your energy. And over time, actually, this is what like couples end up being like you end up looking like them or you take on their characteristics. It's because you are continuously over time merging your physical energy, not just your physical beings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those who are listening and who are just starting out within this journey of sexual empowerment or even sexual exploration, to really hone in and allow yourself to breathe and relax into what is currently happening
Right.
can is the Kickstarter. So this journey for me started out with me simply connecting to my breath, getting out of my head and into my body. And I think I was like, oh my gosh, like my first boyfriend that I was exploring with sex with, like I read this article about that, and so it was like, oh, okay, so it's not what I think it is. And it takes time to then begin shifting on how to like shift your energy and control it. So what you're talking about, Liz, when you're in the heightened state of just about to climax, and then you pull the energy up to your crown and then like bring it all the way back down, is something called, the term is sex magic.
Yeah.
So that's also like practicing a Kundalini arising too. Like what it is that you're talking about is an energetic practice
Right.
within yes Kundalini practices, but also it takes time for you to um, even begin exploring that. So if you're hearing this conversation and you're like so frustrated, it's like, no, just have
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's okay. Yeah.
it takes practice.
Yeah.
The first time that I began to sort of bring the energy up and then bring it back down, at first like it kept getting stuck at my solar plexus, and then it
Mm,
kept getting stuck in my heart center. And then once I was able to like release those blockages, then it became really easy to bring it up and then bring it back down. And
yeah.
now you're talking about partnered work,
Mhm.
right? That's another added layered practice that, you know, that you might be able to jump into it really easily. But if you're listening and you're like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Just
Yeah,
stay at it. Just keep doing it. Just keep practicing.
keep doing it. Yeah, thank you for speaking to that. Yeah, I was so excited to say those things, but it's not that took me a while too. Like
Yeah.
that the foundation of that, I think what we've been speaking to is you being with you and knowing your body. And obviously that changes, like especially for women, we go
Right.
through our cycle, there's so much change that occurs that's consistently changing. And
Yeah.
so being gentle and kind with your body is so important. Being that equals being gentle and kind to yourself because as you spoke to earlier, the shame that can be related to sex
Yeah.
that significantly blocks any chances of that creation energy to really flourish.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then add on the layers of when our boundaries were violated.
Yeah. Hmm.
Layers of when, it can be incredibly complex.
Yeah.
And the shame layer or even the trauma layer, that's the delicate dance of this work, is that continuing to show up for yourself with sweetness and tenderness is going to help you heal those layers of trauma.
Yeah.
If I were to tackle my own boundaries being violated, right? If I and try to like push through and like override my system of, no, I'm gonna excel at sex, I'm gonna be like this dominatrix, it's like that's not the environment that is conducive for healing at all. It really required a great deal of, okay, like I'm just going to touch my thighs right now and just love on my thighs, because I can be really fucking critical about how my body looks sometimes, and my thighs are almost always the first to get the shaming. So I'm just gonna like love on my body and just like, okay, thank you for taking me from point A to point B.
Yeah.
With like hardly yelling back at me. Thank you so much, right? Like And just breathing into that, like that really is the first step
Yeah.
of expressing gratitude to yourself. And then it begins to snowball into other things, but it really begins with creating safety both with and for your body. And if you are in a partnership where you are not feeling safe,
Mm.
sexual empowerment, I'm sorry, is not really going to happen. It just isn't. It just isn't. Right? Like you become skewed within what you think is sexually empowering. But it really does take a safe partner, a safe individual where you can truly just be like,
Yeah.
relax and let go.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, let's talk about that shadow side a bit more of how sex has been, how there's been blocks to sex, how sex has been used as like really abused actually in
Yeah.
terms of I mean there's a whole range of ways sex has been abused in the sense of like it no longer has this sacredness to it. And I'm
Right.
not talking about religious like save yourself for marriage. I'm not talking about that at all. I don't subscribe to that. Um, but there's this like insidiousness to um us using sex to bypass actually like creating genuine intimacy with ourselves and others. And it
Right.
becomes this performative thing that you're just like going through the motions and you're in the conditioned way in which you've learned how to be in sex, right? And women especially. I mean, men too, but you know, we can only speak to about women because we are women. But like I know that I've done that in my past of like it's a performance and like you're saying earlier, how do I get him to an orgasm? What does he like? What does he want to see me do? Um, and it becomes like this disconnection from my own body, disconnection from my own heart. And it's just me, it was me trying to prove something or try to gain approval of men in particular. And that connects with the wounding that I experienced early on. And so it can become this cyclical thing where, like you said, you don't actually get to reach that sexual empowerment.
When your partner, and I'm not gonna say men here. I'm gonna say
Sure.
when your partner is coming from the place of let me take it, give it
Yeah.
to me. That is that is going to, on a vibrational level, send the signal to the other partner to guard up.
Yep. Yeah.
It's not a conducive environment for a healthy exchange.
No.
It's not.
No.
It's not. So when both partners are coming to the sexual exchange from the vibration of allow me to give,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then the feminine in the dynamic, allow me to receive.
Hmm. Yeah.
Right. So the masculine is let me give, right? And we all hold masculine energies within us, right? So
Right.
I'm talking about vibrations here. I'm not
Gender
talking
or
about gender.
anything like that. Yeah.
Okay. So the masculine in us, when both partners are saying, let me give, and when the feminine in us, when both partners are saying, allow me to receive,
Yeah.
it becomes a softer, much more powerful energetic exchange.
Completely.
And for me, being the feminine, of allow me to receive, right? Like really embrace my yes here.
Hmm.
Embrace my yes. But absolutely respect my no.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Like that's the strong boundaries that I have of allow me to really embrace my yes and what that means.
Yeah.
And for me as a healer, see now we get to talk about an extra added layer.
Mhm.
For me as a healer, I have this amazing capability, and I say it that way because I love this, of being able to merge my energy with you at free will.
Mhm.
And again, this takes practice.
Right.
And when I can do this with my partner, like then it really charges up that energy and that sexual drive.
Yeah.
And then it's really expansive.
Yeah.
And then from there, if you're energetically sensitive too, like then I take you for a ride. And I mean that in all the ways that I mean that.
Do we need a cue pony? The song Pony?
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's so funny. But that's in any position. But it is.
Get
Okay.
it?
Okay. So what I mean by that is that's so funny. Am I
But it's
really
cool.
red right now? Because I think I feel
You're a
myself
bit,
getting up.
you're a bit pink. You're a bit pink.
Okay. So what I mean by that is, I can now everything's just gloriously pink.
Yeah, exactly.
What I mean by that is if you allow yourself to be led with energy, like then it's this truly expansive thing that I still struggle to find words with.
Yeah,
It exceeds the physical pleasure thing. It
yeah.
becomes this vibrational, energetic exchange where you're like, oh, this is more than just a healing facilitator. This is like actually like a
So
divine feminine
it's
female that
yeah,
can, yeah. And it does like it you what I mean for take you for a ride, like you actually leave your body.
right. Yeah. It's like the expression of divinity, like embodied.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you don't necessarily need to be in the act of sex in order to experience that. That's the thing that is interesting
right.
about being a healer and what you can do when you merge your energies. But here's the thing, like as a healer, I'm very cautious on who I merge my energy with.
Yeah,
And I find that if I accidentally do it, like I'm immediately calling all my energy back to me.
right.
Like, okay, that was nope, that was not a good idea, calling all my energy back to me. And
Yeah.
so you could be listening and you could be like, oh, I think I know what she's talking about. I just didn't ever find words for it. If you're one of those people who is able to merge with somebody else's energy right here in this moment, step into your empowerment and call all of your energy back to you right here, right now.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. That's a really important encouragement.
Yeah.
And it connects to the TikTok that you sent me, uh, Elizabeth Gilbert speaking,
Oh,
which she is just like, she's glorious, like in so many ways. Check out her work. She's an author too. Um, she wrote Big Magic, and
yeah.
it's beautiful. But yeah, you sent me a TikTok of her talking about some of the history of what women have gone through in terms of like our power as women and how we unfortunately many times these days walk around uh, with no boundaries and saying yes to everybody and saying no to ourselves way too much.
Right.
And I think that's a really important message for us to speak to because this ties into like into sex, into everything that we do. And if we are not having boundaries with our own energy, not and boundary meaning I have a standard for myself and I am going to maintain this very sick she spoke about sacred space, right? Like temples, like we know that when you walk into a temple, it's sacred.
Yeah.
People people create that boundary of, okay, outside of the temple, it's whatever. Inside of the temple, it's sacred. She was equating that to ourselves in the sense of, okay, what is sacred within me that I need to keep sacred? And this is my boundary to keep this sacred. What is the standard? What do I need to do for myself to make sure that I'm embodying, not just aspiring, but embodying these values that are directly related to how I treat myself?
Yes.
Dude, that talk like it hit so hard. And
Yeah.
so I think this is a great subtopic to the sexual awakening piece because so often, and I don't think that this is just women, like human beings, we walk around just giving away our energy or giving away whatever and not recognizing the sacredness of what we're doing.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. How much energy have I wasted
right,
seeking others' approval
right,
or wanting so badly to have connection and then using sex, giving away my energy, giving away my power to try and have that connection and
right.
only to be dropped? Like,
Exactly.
oh, okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this really speaks to like sexual positivity like is beautiful. It's not about that. It's not about like the
Right.
act. It's about the energy underneath. What are
Yeah.
like you want to go have sex with like multiple people? Great. But
Yeah.
what's
Right.
the energy underneath that's guiding that? Is it coming from a really wounded place that needs your attention? Or is it coming from a place of like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to express my sexual energy and this is who I am and this is what I love, right? Where is it coming from?
Right.
That's the important piece.
Right. Or taking it a step further of the addiction to it. Yeah.
Right. Right. An addiction is typically associated with shame.
Right.
Like I don't want to really be inside of myself because I hate myself. So what is it that I'm going to chase after that it's like external to me that will like feed that that piece of me that like actually I really need to feed and actually I really need to heal and discover like why I am lovable and what I need to love inside of me. So yeah. Yeah, and let's make a distinction between um shame versus guilt. Shame says I like there is something inherently wrong with me. Guilt says I did something that's out of alignment with who I actually am. Okay, course correct. The focus is on the behavior, the focus is on the like what is it the energy in me that's like moving towards that thing that actually doesn't align. Let me check in with myself, examine this and work through that versus shame says, nope, sorry, there's just something like completely damaged and wrong about you. That's going to lead you to more addiction kind of behaviors because when we feel absolutely like dismissed and rejected and in self-abandonment inside of ourselves, we will then avoid ourselves. Because there's this intensity that's connected to if I actually sit with myself, I'm going to feel all of the inherent things that are wrong with me. I can't do that. I need to go and avoid and not be inside of myself. Which then, if that's the case and you're addicted to sex, you're blocking yourself from actually experiencing the deep love inside of yourself. And it's being reflected in that addiction, which is really the self-hatred, shame inside of yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to speak to um related to that or Or
Mhm.
you want to segue into something else?
No, I guess a personal question, and you don't have to answer this at all. Like if this is too personal,
Oh, here we go.
because we are recording. Where do you currently find yourself within your own sexual exploration slash empowerment?
Oh. Hmm. I, huh. Okay. Where my mind goes with this is I would say like with myself outside of partnership, um, I have developed a much deeper love for my body, and that's been quite a journey.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, in my history, there's been, you know, n negative body image experiences and um, violating experiences sexually for me, and some also like really healing experiences during sex with partners. So it's been both. And I would say currently there are times when like you were saying earlier, I could be critical of my body, like that could pop up and I'll experience like, oh, I wish this part of my body looked different, or I wish like I mean, I'm still on my fitness and health journey in terms of like losing fat. And so there is challenging moments where I'm like, oh, I don't feel sexy in my body, or I don't feel uh like fully enthusiastic about my body. And I would say that there are definitely more moments of that than I've ever experienced in the past. Of like, oh, like I feel really strong in my body. Oh, I like how like those clothes look. Or I can really like I can touch myself in such a loving way and I can feel that love, and I can feel like enjoyment with my own touch, you know? So it really, I mean, it's such a human thing, right? Like it's both. There's moments of both.
Right.
And I would say that when it comes to like sex with partners, um I'm in a really good place. Like my Leo, I have Leo in my Venus and Leo in my Mars. That there's lots of fire, okay? There's lots of passion, there's lots of playfulness, there's lots of like just like enjoyment of like my body, their body, like it feels like I've moved more into the Leo in terms of like intimacy and sexual experiences now, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm the lioness in the bedroom.
Also, okay, but how does so you embody more masculine energy? So how
Yes.
does that come into play too, right? So that's also part of this
Yeah,
dynamic.
that is true. That's a really good point. So when I was before I really owned my queerness, the masculine, like it was kind of awkward for me because, like I was usually with traditional men who wanted to be in their masculine, and I would be in my feminine, and it just uh, it didn't feel like it felt good at times because like you said, like we embody both,
Right. Yeah.
but it also felt like there's this big piece of me not being able to be expressed because it was just one way of being. Like I was the feminine, he was the
Yep.
masculine,
Right.
and there was no interchanging of like energies.
Yeah.
And so then noticing being in a queer relationship, which I usually am with women who are they are predominantly more feminine, but they play with their masculine. So it's both.
Yeah.
And that just feels so much like better for me and more like fulfilling. Cause like it's so funny. Like outside of the bedroom, like I'm the masculine energy and I do the masculine sort of things in a relationship and I love it so much. And then in the bedroom, I get to do that too. I get to be in my masculine and be like assertive and like dominant and, take care of the feminine. But then there's this funny thing that happens too is like if you I feel like many more dominantly masculine queer individuals, and this this sounds like it's generalizing. I don't mean to generalize, but I'll just speak to my experience. The what happens in the bedroom is like my masculine can also rest and I get to be in my feminine and my partner is in their masculine and I actually get to like rest in my feminine.
Yeah.
But it's not the whole time. It's this beautiful like dance and exchange of both.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm at now. And I, you know, through our friendship, I've also been able to practice being in my masculine more.
Yeah.
And like you've helped me step into that and feel comfortable with that and really appreciate it and live in it in a way that feels super authentic to me. And so now I feel really authentic. Like this is me, you know, this is who I am. And I get to express that in the way that feels most genuine.
Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah, it's great. It's so good. How about you?
How about me? What was the question?
The question was, what was the question? Wasn't it like, oh no, I forgot it.
Where are you
Are
within
you
with
within the sexual
your Is that it?
or your energies, the feminine and masculine?
Yeah, so when I was married, I started out being in the feminine and
Hmm.
then very quickly shifted into my masculine energy because he was very passive.
Right.
And being a Leo and naturally embodying masculine energy, like it was just easier for me to step into the masculine energy. And
Right.
so now that I am single, um, and even in the couple of dynamics that I've had in the relationship um, since getting divorced, I am very mindful of when I'm stepping into the masculine energy, and if I can get a sense that I will be there for a very long time, I will withdraw from the relationship or even then in the dynamic, right? Like is as far as like being in the bedroom, like that Leo energy comes out in the sense of give me 5 minutes to dominate and then I will fully submit. I
Yes.
will fully submit to you, but I need those 5 minutes of just being able to like get out my Leo energy. But that's just the energy that I embody.
Yeah.
In regards to truly embodying my feminine energy, that also means navigating this world with heightened level of spiritual development because that is who I am as a healer. That is who I am as a facilitator. That's who I am as Lindsay Lee.
Hmm.
That's who I am. That also means that the energetic component has got to be existing in the dynamic in the bedroom. And if it's not there, even if it's there within a false sense, I withdraw.
Yeah.
I I withdraw. Right? Like you would think that within a partnership in my past that would have been a thing, and it wasn't. And I'm like, okay. It just And I know that that's kind of elusive and not really very detailed, but if you know, you know. And that's all I'm going to say.
Sure. Yeah.
In regards to where am I sitting now within my sexual empowerment, obviously I'm able to have a podcast and talk about sex and climaxing and Kundalini rising. Like, so clearly I'm very solid within who I am as a woman navigating this world as the divine feminine, sexually empowered individual.
Mhm.
I know that I feel solid and secure within my sexual energy because of how I move throughout space.
Hmm.
How I walk into a room, I know exactly who I am. If at all, yeah, I mean, even recently, I was really critical of my physical body because I haven't been working out the way that I used to, and most of that is absolutely because of my job. And so, how do I still apply grace to myself in this short amount of time that I'm at this job, like knowing that it's temporary, knowing that I want North Node to be more of my career. So do I feel sexually empowered within my physical body? It's still a journey of being kind to myself.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're not feeling good in your body, are you really gonna be like, yeah, let's go for it? Like not entirely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But as we've been talking throughout this conversation, sexual empowerment is way more than just the physical act.
Right.
So it's for me, it's an energetic body that I can expand in.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then ground that into this plane. So yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, you touched on like the like if you're feeling energetic to get to the point of being in that realm of sex, like right? Like so work affects that.
Yeah.
The amount of movement that you're having in your body affects that, right? Like your health affects that. Like there's so many things that affect that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is that like I was like at the height of my Kundalini awakening, I was also simultaneously in excruciating pain.
Right.
I was I was having like lightning bolt nerve pain down both of my legs. I had lightning bolt pain in my left shoulder, all from the car accident. Like I was in excruciating pain. And I think like by the by the grace of God, the gift in being in excruciating pain, I was simultaneously like having spontaneous orgasms. And I was like, I don't know what this is about, but this is a cool
You're like, all
byproduct.
right, I'll take it.
I'll take it. I'm right. Like if I have to be in pain in this amount of pain, like cool, I'll take it. While I'm driving, that's an interesting. Sure.
Oh, that's great. That's a fun time, but also kind of dangerous too.
Also, like scary as shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
driving on 290, and you're like, I don't know what the fuck is happening, but I'm just gonna slowly move over to the right lane and just like enjoy whatever the fuck is happening. And some women like it's a thing like while you're working out like some and I thank God I never climaxed at the gym. That would have been so embarrassing, but like it was so close sometimes like but it's actually a thing like with a brain injury. Like I
Right.
talked to my physical therapist and I'm like, "Okay, so I'm really embarrassed to tell you this, but also like I have to tell you this because we're in that territory and this is a crowded room." And so also like how do I navigate that?
Yeah.
Right? Like thank God it never happened at the gym. Like that would have been so embarrassing. But I got pretty close a couple of times and it's like, hmm, okay, it's a fun interesting thing.
It's a fun story to tell, that's for sure.
No, it is not fun. It's embarrassing. It's
Oh, you had no control over that though. Like that, you know. Just
Right. I think it's a gift because when you have a brain injury, so much of your life is just in a blender and you're confused and
right.
it's hard to it's difficult. And if you've never had a concussion, you don't know what I mean when I say random confusion. And you don't even know why you're confused. Like it's just it's so layered and so complex. And I really do think like, oh, okay, it's this gift of here you go, your life is kind of a shit show. So we'll just give you a little bit of a gift of enjoyment.
Yeah, here's an orgasm.
Right, yeah. And then you're like, wait, what just happened? I don't know what just happened. I don't
Yeah,
okay.
that's wild.
How about then the confusion over that? It's like, wait, what?
That it's like layers, like inception of confusion.
Hey, I'll take it.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And that's the beauty of the body too, is like we have these systems that help move us forward in life, these neurotransmitters that
Yeah.
awaken these like moments of ecstasy inside of ourselves, which is like amazing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And the brain is the hub of all of your neurological responses. And, you know, like the clitoris is like seriously like the hub of all of the nerve endings. It is like the only space on the human body that is actually designed specifically for pleasure. And so
Right.
when you're connecting your nerve endings, like suddenly like you're in touch with like, I don't understand what's happening, but okay, that's an interesting.
Uh-huh.
Okay, brain, you're
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. And fun fact, the jaw is connected to your, as you put it, yoni,
Yeah.
which is interesting to think about.
Here's the thing about the body is that it's all truly connected.
Right.
Thing that you don't think is connected actually is connected. So when you are walking around with a tight jaw, you're not really going to be able to,
Right.
and the
Right.
flower is not going to bloom.
No- That's such great language for that.
It's true.
It is true. Hmm. Let's get into some a little more spiciness.
All
Okay.
right, let's spice
Okay.
this
Okay.
up.
Okay. Let's talk about foreplay.
Okay, what about it?
What is foreplay to you?
Okay, the mild form of foreplay is subtle touch throughout the day.
Yes.
It's subtle flirtation, right? Like
Yes.
it's the look in the eye of like across the room. I see you.
Yeah.
Hey, cute, right?
Yeah.
And then moving into actual like full on foreplay is like legit like touching, caressing,
Mm.
massage, making out. Like
Yes.
it's a whole okay. It's a whole movement of the body to me. It's really beginning to like merge the energies and dance. Like it's a dance between two. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Something that can be really great that I recommend to clients who are struggling with the foreplay piece is um it's called sensate. It's a sensate exercise, which means you set your timer 5 minutes. Your partner massages you, and you tell your partner, hey, I would like this kind of pressure, and I would like you to massage this area. And so the partner does that for 5 minutes. And during that time, you check in with your partner. How is this pressure? What are you feeling? And it becomes this like back and forth of communicating, oh, that feels really good. Oh, I'm starting to get turned on, whatever it may be, right? And then you switch and the other partner receives and the other partner gives.
Mhm.
And it's just such a nice way to lead into really like having our bodies like feel comfortable with each other,
Yeah.
jumping too quickly, right?
Right. Especially like as the feminine, like being in the work environment, I'm in my masculine energy all day long.
Right.
And I'm actively working on, okay, if I have to be in my masculine energy, how can I, in moments throughout the day, take my guard down and slip into my feminine energy so that I'm not embodying the masculine all day? So
Right.
it's time to unwind that, right? It
Yes.
takes like, yeah, the massaging is very helpful of getting me back into my body, connecting to my breath, and then communicating to your partner. Yeah, that feels good. Keep going in that direction, right? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's smart.
exactly. Yeah, and it reminds me too of I have a friend and shout out Morgan. We had all these like conversations about what does your Venus and Mars sign say, especially your Mars sign, because it's about sexual preferences.
I'm
Say,
gonna look up my Mars sign. Hold
yeah,
on.
say about you in the bedroom.
Well, I know what the Juno, what your Juno, wherever your Juno placement is, like mine is in Sagittarius, which explains the jalapeno scenario.
It really does. Yes.
Okay. Virgo, my Virgo is in, no, my Venus is in Virgo.
Yes. Isn't it
Um,
Capricorn? Capricorn and Cancer in your Mars?
yes.
Yes. Okay. And then I have Leo and Aquarius in my Mars. Um, so Capricorn and Cancer, my guess is you prefer, I mean, obviously you have Leo, so you want some of that like passion inside of the romance. Um, and also what's important to you is like clear communication about what you like, what you don't like in the
Yeah.
bedroom.
Yeah.
And then tender loving care because the Cancer. So you being pampered because Cancer is feminine,
Yeah.
you being pampered and like taken care of, but you also like taking care of your partner too because that's the mother, right? Like
Right.
you want to nourish and nurture your man and
I
the
will give you as much as you give me.
exactly. And that's very Capricorn of you to say. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, let's reciprocate this. I'm giving you a lot. Like you need to
Right.
make sure that you're valuing what I'm giving you,
Yeah.
right? And it's earthly, like so the physicality of like touch and the taste and the smells are really important to you.
Oh, it's a whole scene.
Yeah.
The lighting, if there's music, it's got to be the right kind of music. Like it's, yeah, yeah. If if my man shows up with cologne, I'm like,
Blah.
I can't. I
Yeah.
can't do, no.
Yeah.
If you show up with you and like maybe a little bit of essential oil, like that could be like the right kind of mix,
Right.
right? If we go to, yeah, just no. Those plug-in things, like just it's an
Oh,
absolute.
no.
I can't do
Also,
any sort of like false sort of fragrances. It really dampens the whole mood.
you want something like watery, earthy energy in there, right? Very natural, very like connected to like bringing you into your emotional, energetic, physical body,
Yeah,
right? All of that. Yeah.
yeah,
Super important.
yeah.
And so for me, because it's in Leo and Aquarius, well, Aquarius is the staple for LGBTQ. Like, if you have like lots of Aquarius in your chart, you're probably queer on some level, whatever that means to you. And so it really is the marker for queerness in a lot of ways. And I have a 11th house stellium, so I'm very gay. Um, so it being, Aquarius and Leo, sister signs being in my area of sexual preferences, what it means is I definitely need passion. I need flirtation. I need us playing like being playful and like lighthearted and like funny and goofy.
Yeah.
And the Aquarius brings in like the like the cosmic in some ways because it's very like innovative and out of the box and weird kind of energy. So I inside of that, and it's air. It's an air sign. So the air like ignites the fire even more.
Yeah.
And so there's this importance for me of exploration and exploration in new and weird ways.
Mhm.
Like I
Mhm.
need those elements inside of sexual experiences,
Yeah.
which is so true. It's so opposite to what I grew up in, right? Like I grew up in like Christian home. Like it's like missionary and like typical like heteronormative things. And then I stepped into my queerness and was like, "Oh shit, like I gotta discover all of these like variations, strap-ons, and like using sex toys and like just having like harnesses and blindfolds and like just all of the things to explore. It's the best.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah. So maybe we can go into more of like the zodiac signs with that and have an episode exploring that and other things about astrology.
Each zodiac sign.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That sounds good. Well, my friend, any last thoughts? We can close out this episode, this spicy episode. Nope.
I don't think so.
I think it's such a beautiful thing that we are talking about this, like that we're uh creating an avenue for people to see open conversations about all things sex related, sexual awakening, us as sexual beings, like all of that. It's huge.
It's layered and complex, and it really is like society drives it with such a narrow point of view. But when you really allow yourself to open up and have a conversation about it, and it's great that you and I can talk about it in the sense of like, you really like vertical tacos, and I just happen to like, jalapeno sausage.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Celebrating that.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yep. That that the conversations can still be incredibly dynamic and supportive and healthy, even though we have
Yes.
different preferences.
Yeah, really good point. I love that. We can come together in our differences and still find similarities or common ground for us to talk about and then hold space for the differences that are important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, followers, friends, listeners, thank you so much for being in this conversation. Again, if you would like a topic, please reach out.
Oh yeah.
Also, intro workshop coming up in September, September 6th.
So excited.
Yeah, so good. If you
Yeah.
are in the San Marcos, San Antonio, Austin, Central Texas area, please come to it. It's going to be a great intro to what we do in therapeutic theater, and we would love to have you.
And if you're not in that local area, reach out to us that you are interested in a workshop because we do also facilitate virtual ones.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's not specifically on our calendar just yet. It doesn't mean that it can't be.
Great point. Yeah. We do all the things. All the things. All right. Much love to everybody. We will see you next time for episode 20. Much love. Bye.